Hey y'all, I remember sitting in a Red Roof Inn after retirement, staring at the wall thinking, how the hell did I spend 30 years serving my country and still feel financially limited? And maybe you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because the truth is, a pension can help you survive, it can help keep the lights on, but it doesn't automatically create freedom because retirement was supposed to feel different, a lot different. Really quick, before this video gets going, this isn't for officers. It's not for civilians, retirees who are already financially comfortable, and it isn't for people casually looking for some side money. This is for one type of person, a retired enlisted person from the United States Navy or Coast Guard or sister service. First 1 to 5 years after retirement, who's looking around and quietly realizing that the freedom you thought retirement was going to bring didn't come with it. If that's not you, close the tab. No hard feelings, and thank you for your time. Bravo Zulu on making it to retirement. Now, if that is you, give me the next 12 minutes or so. The rest of this is built for you specifically. Let me tell you who you're talking to for the next 12 minutes. Because if you're a chief, a senior chief, a master chief, or a warrant, you already know somebody listens to somebody that's earned the floor. My name's Dave Andrews. My friends call me Big Country. I am a retired chief warrant officer, 4 years Navy, and 26 years Coast Guard, over 30 years in the uniform. I spent my career running command, control, communications, and intelligence systems during real-world operations, not classroom drills, not paper exercises, actual missions where the comms had to work or people didn't come home. I ran the comms platform that supported counter-drug operations in the Eastern Pacific, operations that helped intercept over 12 tons of cocaine before it ever hit American streets. When Hurricane Maria flattened Puerto Rico, I went back to San Juan. I'd been stationed there years before. I knew those streets. I knew those people. I had coffee on those corners on a normal Tuesday. And I went back when there was nothing left. And I helped run the federal communications platform that supported rescue operations through the worst of it. Hurricane Irma, federal disaster response, search and rescue, crisis communications when the infrastructure was literally on fire. Microsoft Certified Systems Engineer back when it meant something. Senior NCO Academy graduate, EMT of the Year, Alaska, where I performed CPR under pressure and helped save 2 lives in the field. Decorations, commendations, 3 decades of operating a level most civilians will never understand. And here's what hit me hardest the day after I retired. None of it prepared me for what came next. I went through TAPS. They taught me how to write a resume, how to interview, how to transition into another job, not retirement. Apparently, Home Depot was the dream look. I love shopping there. I just didn't love the idea of clocking in there at 50. Nobody taught me to actually build freedom. Nobody taught me how to keep operating like the man I'd spent 30 years becoming. So I sat there, pension on autopilot, calendar empty, bucket list barely touched, asking the same questions every enlisted retiree quietly asks. Now what? After everything I'd done, what was the reward? Running the budget in my head, hesitating on the small stuff, telling myself, maybe next year on the things that mattered most. I'll never forget the moment it really landed. It was the marina, sundowners with the neighbors, salt in the air, the diesel from another boat idling 2 docks over. I could hear the halyards tapping against masts and somebody laughing on the dock next door. And I was listening to civilians who'd never worn a uniform, guys who'd been accountants, contractors, talking about trips they'd just taken on boats, places they'd gone, islands they visited, and they just decided to do it on a Tuesday because they could. And I just sat there with my drink getting warm, nodding along, knowing I couldn't. That's when it hit me. This wasn't freedom. The mission was gone. The structure was gone. And the financial control I thought I earned with 30 years of standing watches, it wasn't there. That was the first warning, the first time I saw it clearly. But the truth is, I'd need a much harder lesson before I actually moved on it. But the marina wasn't really the moment it landed. That came later. My wife, Susan, passed in November of 2023 from cancer. And every one of those maybe next years I'd quietly pushed off sits with me now because next year didn't come for us. The trips we talked about, we didn't take them. The places she wanted to see, she didn't see them. That's the cost of getting this wrong. The mission isn't just about a budget, it's about not being the man who waited too long. And that, more than anything, is what I built. The second mission. Not for me anymore, for the man watching, for the woman watching. This is who has time to do it differently. What I discovered after that was a system that helped me stop depending on the pension alone and start building leveraged recurring income that I actually controlled. Not another job, not gambling, not chasing trends, not a side hustle. I call it the second mission income system. It's a structured framework for retired enlisted veterans to build leveraged recurring income, restore the sense of the mission you lost the day the uniform came off, and put you back in control of your future. Without trading hours, without chasing people, without becoming somebody you're not. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to break down three things almost nobody tells retired enlisted about building real income on the other side of the service, and the exact framework that got me out of that seat at the marina. Secret number one, the repeatable income system. I can't believe after serving my country for 20 to 30 years, I still can't afford to take a trip with my family where I actually want to go. If that just landed hard on your chest, you probably know the problem isn't effort. You spent 20 to 30 years outworking civilians half your age. You stood mid-watches when they're sleeping. You worked through holidays they took off. You deployed when they were at brunch. Effort isn't what's missing. The vehicle is. Every income path civilians push at you assumes the same broken trade. Your time for someone else's money, on someone else's clock, a second job, a 1099 gig, a business opportunity that turns into chasing, posting, and hoping. You already gave 20 plus years on the clock. You are not stepping back onto one. The repeatable income system is something completely different. It's a chain of command structure for income built around a recurring travel membership that working families already want. You install the structure once, the wins multiply through other people running the same play. No scripts to memorize, no pressure, no conversations, no becoming that guy at the unit picnic. This isn't a side hustle. It isn't a second career. It isn't another opportunity. It's the only income vehicle I've seen that pays on enrollment and retention, and not on hours logged, which is exactly why it works for everyone who's already done trading hours. And look, almost every retired enlisted I talk to about this starts off in the same place I did, arms crossed, convinced it's going to turn into chasing people, pitching friends, or becoming somebody he's not. I was that guy. The shift happens the same way every time. The second you see it isn't about convincing anybody. It's about installing a play, another run, the whole posture changes. That's not selling, that's leadership. Secret two, the identity reset protocol. Most retired enlisted don't lose their drive, they lose their mission. For 20 to 30 years, everything was defined. Clear objective, clear standards, clear chain of command, clear role. The morning brief told you what to do, the op board told you how, the team told you when. Then it's gone. And whether you say it out loud or not, you're not operating at the level you used to. Not because you can't, because nothing is demanding it from you anymore. Here's the lie most retired enlisted quietly buy. The income at this level requires becoming someone you're not. A salesman, an influencer, a guy who posts cringe content and DMs old shipmates with opportunities. So you hesitate or you try it once, it feels forced, and you back off. And then comes the thought you don't say out loud. I barely make enough to provide for my family. Now, after all those years serving, have I failed them? That's not failure. That's the wrong system rejecting the wrong tools. The identity reset protocol installs the operating system you already know how to run. Chain of command, clear standards, measurable output through people who report up. You're not learning to become a marketer. You're being reassigned into the role your training already built you for, applied to become instead of an MOS or a rate. You don't need a new personality. You need a new mission. The same chief, senior chief, master chief, or CWO who ran a division, a section, or a shop can run this because it's structured the way you already think. And secret number 3, the civilian ceiling override. You think the ceiling on your retirement income is the economy or your pension cap or your age, or that these opportunities are all saturated by now. None of that is true. That's not what's holding the lid down. The real ceiling is this. Every income structure designed for civilians assumes a 40-year ramp. They start at 22, compound for decades, and maybe reach freedom at 65. You don't have a 40-year ramp. You have something they never had, a pension floor and a body that still works. That's starting a position no civilian gets. A pension keeps the lights on. It doesn't give you room to move. You feel it every time you hesitate on the trip, every time the AC unit goes out, every time you realize your income is fixed, but everything else isn't. That's not freedom. That's managed stability. The civilian ceiling override flips the mat. Recurring membership income pays on enrollment and retention, meaning it compounds in months, not decades. Your pension becomes the base. The chain of command structure becomes the multiplier. You're not catching up to civilians. You're using a position they will never have access to. The economy didn't cap you. The pension didn't cap you. Age didn't cap you. The wrong vehicle did. Swap the vehicle and the ceiling moves. That's the promise behind the second mission income system. I built this to help retired and enlisted veterans build leveraged, recurring income, restore the sense of a mission you lost the day you took off the uniform, and regain control of your future using the exact playbook the 6- and 7-figure earners in our organization have already proven works. Without trading hours, without chasing people, without sacrificing the freedom you spent 30 years earning. So here's what happens next. You're going to apply for the second mission. Click below, fill out the application. It takes 5 minutes. If you're approved and deployed into the second mission income system, here's what you're going to gain access to. The second mission mainframe onboarding, an op-board style 30-day deployment plan, specific orders, measurable objectives, checkpoints. The identity reset protocol, reassignment, not retirement. We restore the direction, the standards, and the sense of command you operated under in uniform applied to your new mission. The ready room, ops kit, field-tested scripts, automation, templates, and tools. You deploy fast, you don't build from scratch. The Command Mentorship Circle, live coaching with 6- and 7-figure earners in our organization who have already walked this path. You're in the room with them. They're not a podcast, they're operators. The Second Mission Brotherhood, a private operations room of retired and enlisted running the same mission, same values, same standards, same language, Nobody is figuring this out alone. The no man left behind support structure. Direct escalation when you're stuck. You will not be left behind on mission wondering what to do next. That's not how this unit operates. Now, maybe you're thinking what I thought. Maybe you're thinking, this sounds like one of those MLM things, and those don't work. That's exactly what I thought walking in. Then I realized the broken ones rely on chasing. This one runs on structure, a big difference. Maybe you're thinking, I don't have time. I'm finally free. I get it. I retired so I could stop working 60-hour weeks too. The second mission is built around a time freedom framework. You protect family time, you protect the lifestyle you earned, and the income compounds in the background. Maybe you're thinking I've tried stuff and it don't work. Same. None of what I tried had a chain of command. None of it had a mission map. None of it paid on retention. This one does. Or maybe you're thinking the quietest one. What if I fail and look stupid after everything I've done? Listen to me carefully. The men I run with are chiefs, senior chiefs, master chiefs, and chief warrant officers. Decorated, accomplished, and exactly where you are right now. Nobody in the Brotherhood is looking down. We're looking out. Look, Uncle Sam is never going to fully compensate you for what you sacrificed in the service. But does that mean your future stays capped by a fixed number printed on a piece of paper? You still have value. You still have leadership. You still have decades of training nobody else in the civilian world has. You still have a spouse, a family, and a bucket list. That does not deserve maybe next year. The mission isn't over. This is just the second mission. So here's your move. Click below. Fill out the application. If you qualify, we get your orders drafted and you'll have your first deployment inside of 48 hours. If that's you, the door is open. Let's get out there and do some good things today.